This video is to address week number 7, task number 7. In task number 7, we are given a plane with mx equals 1 and my equals 2, and we are asked to find the slope in the direction when x both increases by 2 and y increases by 3. In this task, it gave us a diagram, which was very, very helpful. I wanted to actually begin this task by recreating that diagram. So what I did was I saw that there was a given point on the z-axis, and that was 0, 0, 5. So I graphed 0, 0, 5 right away, and that is my point A. From there, since we're looking at the slope when x is increasing by 2, I wanted to look at where a point would be if that x changes at 2. So using the help of the diagram, it did the same thing. So what I am showing you right now is that point B is actually that change in the x direction of 2. Let me get it focused. There we go. So point B. So that was the x direction change in value of 2. What we notice though is that there is the x slope, the mx slope, is only 1. So using that information, I wanted to just kind of find where all my points are. So A is going to be 0, 0, 5, like I said, and that's our starting point. With a change in the x direction of 2, we're going to now see B as the value of 2, 0, 5. From there, if I can calculate my z directional in the x, then I can go ahead and find this next point, which is going to be C. And my z directional is going to be, or basically my rise in the x direction is going to be 2. So I'm constantly trying to just like baby step my coordinates through. So again, A is 0, 0, 5. That's my starting. I'm going to take the x direction and I'm going to apply a change of 2. So now my B value is going to be 2, 0, 5, because my x increased by the value of 2 in respect to z. But I want to find eventually my total z value in the x direction. So what I'm going to need to do for that is my mx is 1 and my change in x is 2. So if I multiply the two together, I get the value of 2. That value of 2 is going to show me what this next leg is, which is CB. So I'm going to take that value of 2 and I'm going to add it to the z values that I already have. So I'm starting from B, which was the value of 2, 0, 5, and now I'm going to go up to C, which will be the value of 2, 0, 7. Notice how the 5 added 2 in order to get to 7. Okay, so that took care of, so this pink triangle is basically taking care of my my rise in my z rise in the x direction. So now I'm going to go ahead and switch gears a little bit. So I have, there we go. I've got, again, the coordinate C is at 2, 0, 7. From there, I need to apply a change of 3 in the y. So just taking that into respect, my change of 3 in the y is going to now take the point C and move it 3 spaces in the y direction. And that will get me to D. So looking at it from a coordinate standpoint, you're just adding 3 to the y coordinate. So from C, which was again 2, 0, 7, I'm going to add 3 to my y, which will give me D at 2, 3, 7. Okay. Now what I'm going to need to do is again find my rise of z in the y direction. My rise of z in the y direction is going to be taking into account the change of y that I just did, which was 3, but also applying the my of 2. So 3 times 2 is going to be 6. This 6 is going to get me to my last point. So I'm going to go ahead from D, which was 2, 3, 7, and I'm going to add 6 to my z. So now I'm going to be getting my value, which is this point right here, which is E, and that value is going to be 2, 3, 13. What this value basically is saying to me is that that is the next point on my line, and that will give me that final line formation between points A and E. So essentially, I created the slope of that line by breaking down the x directional and the y directional to get my rise. But again, that doesn't really help me with my run. I'm going to kind of try to go bird's eye view here a little bit, not fully bird's eye view. This green triangle down here is going to help us find the run. The run has to be in respect to the xy plane because it needs to have that distance attached to space. So with that being said, when we're finding the run in respect to the xy plane, we're going to be looking at the change in x and then the change in y and treating it like a right triangle, which will in turn use Pythagorean theorem. Using Pythagorean theorem, we can go ahead and see that our right triangle has a leg of 2 in the x and a leg of 3 in the y. So 2 squared plus 3 squared would then equal our run squared. Our run will be the diagonal, which in my figure right here is points G and F. And that diagonal is going to represent our run. And again, the run is in 2 space and it is in respect to the xy plane. What we're going to do is apply Pythagorean theorem fully. So 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9. We're going to add 4 with 9 and get 13, and then square root it in order to get our run. The square root of 13 is not very pretty as a number, so we're going to just leave it in its simplified form as the square root of 13. So to conclude, the slope of the given plane that is formed with mx of 1 and my of 2 is going to be a slope of 8 over the square root of 13. Again, the 8 was found by taking my z directionals and adding them together. So 2 in the x direction and 6 in the y direction. And then my run was found in respect to the xy plane, which was the square root of 13. Okay, so again, this is week number 7, task number 7.